Hi, I'm Megan Glazer. I teach in transitional studies and I teach reading classes and writing classes.
Hi, I'm Diane Clements, and I also teach in transitional studies in the reading and writing classes at the downtown campus. Today, Professor Glazer and I want to talk to you about just tips for being successful in college. And one of the first tips that we want to share with you is the importance of communication, specifically communicating with your professor. Your professor should give you an email address and a phone number, and it's really important to keep those so that if you're going to be absent from class, or if you have a family situation, or you need extra time or whatever, you can email your professor or call your professor, or perhaps text if your professor has that option available for you. And you'll find that the more that you communicate with your professor, the more flexible your professor will be with you. So that's the first tip that we have for you.
Another tip that we think is important for you is to really make use of a syllabus. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what's a syllabus? Really, that is the outline of the course that you're taking, and your professors will give that to you on the first day or within the first week, just really to kind of establish an outline what it is that is being asked of you by taking this course. It really is the contract that lays out specific guidelines and things that you have to make sure that you meet so that you can be successful and successfully complete that course. We'll talk to you about the pace and the structure. They will give you some course learning outcomes, which are really those broad concepts that your professors will want you to work toward and hopefully achieve. It will let you know also about assignments that are due, and really what it looks to do is to communicate with you what are the key points of information that you'll need to know in order to set yourself up for success. Another thing that the syllabus does is to point out what resources are available to you. There are special places that you can go, numbers, outreach that is available to you as a student at MCC, far above and beyond just classroom type resources. So we understand that our MCC students have many needs in a variety of areas, and we really look to support the whole student, so to speak, not just the academic issues.
So the next tip that we have for you is a really important one. So we're all in college now, and you're in college to learn, and learning is your responsibility. Your professor's responsibility is to teach. Your responsibility is to learn. But sometimes we struggle with those concepts, and sometimes they're more than we thought they were going to be. So that's another time that you really want to communicate with your professor and utilize their office hours. You will be able to find their office hours on their course information sheet or on the syllabus, and utilize those office hours to go and get some extra help from your professor. If those office hours are not convenient for you, MCC offers lots of different types of tutoring as well. And now that we're going to be remote in the fall, that tutoring is going to look a little bit different than it did when we were on campus. So be sure to reach out to your professor and ask about links to the online tutoring, and ask about any face-to-face tutoring that might be happening on campus.
The last thing we want to talk to you about, unless there's anything else that Diane comes up with, is to manage your time and manage your materials. So it's really important for students to understand that in high school, you may have been able to get away with just keeping things in your head and remembering what's due on what day. But now you're in college, and it's a totally different environment in terms of the volume of coursework that's coming your way, what you'll be asked to read, what you'll be asked to do. So we really want to emphasize that you need to keep track of things either in an agenda or a planner, or we've got these, right? They're attached to our hips all the time. So make use of your cell phone and keep a calendar so that you'll know when you wake up on Tuesday morning, wow, I've got 3 things that I've got to accomplish. And it sounds like a little step, but I'll tell you, it's critically important to your success as a student. Another thing to talk about is the space, the environment in which you will be doing your work, both if you're asked to do a face-to-face sort of, a remote sort of environment where you are taking a class and you have to report to that class at a regular day and time. You want to make sure that you pick a place, an environment where it's quiet, where you can manage those sorts of distractions or noise. Try to really limit the amount of things that are kind of pulling your attention elsewhere. And likewise, making sure that you think about a plan of the time of day that you intend to do your coursework and your homework. And even if you don't need that time, let's say you've set aside Wednesdays from 3 to 4 p.m., you still can use that time to look over your notes and you establish some really important habits for success. Anything else?
So just one thing that Megan reminded me of while she was talking that I want to point out to you as well is attendance. So attendance in college is so important. Like you'll see on your course information sheet that you're allowed 3 absences. That doesn't mean you have to take 3 absences because it's so important for you to be in class. We can't, as professors, we can't really replicate what we did in class for you at a later time. And now that we're remote and many of our classes will be remote, that really is going to mean, you know, logging on to Zoom during your course times and interacting in some way over Zoom. Some professors might require you to have your video on. Others professors might say it's okay to just have a picture of yourself up or whatever. Those are all things you need to find out from your professor. But we can't stress enough how important it is for you to be there in class and participating. And oftentimes professors will give you an extra grade for participation. So that's something that you want to look at on your course information sheet as well, and make sure that you're in class as much as you can. And if you can't be in class, make sure you communicate that to your professor.
Thanks so much. We welcome you to MCC. Please know that we absolutely love what we do, and we hope that that shows every single day that we come to class. And reach out if you need help, you need support in any way. And even if it's just a little inkling in your head, like I think I might eventually need something, communicate that sooner rather than later.
And feel free to reach out to either one of us, mglazer@monroecc.edu and dclemens@monroecc.edu. We're always happy to help. So reach out if you need something.
We look forward to your email.
Bye.